I am heading to another art residency, but for those that don't know, art residencies are typically an organization or a group or some kind of funded program where artists apply, and then once you're accepted, you're given a place to stay. Sometimes you're given food, and you're given free and unrestricted time to work on your art. Sometimes they have you do like a teach-in or a talk. Some artist residencies are alone, some are with other people. Some are 2 weeks. I'm going to one that's a month long in New York State. But I'm excited for this residency. It's going to have meals. They're going to feed us. There's going to be no Wi-Fi there, spotty internet. It's on 1,800 acres. I think there's a place to swim. So I'm so excited. I think residencies are a great opportunity to work really hard on long form projects. I'm excited to go back and revisit this novel that I've been working on the past couple of years and really plan towards a lot of longer form videos on this channel over the rest of the year. If you want to learn more about what this residency is going to be like, leave comments because I can answer questions in a Q&A or talk about these things while I'm at the residency. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch up with you when we're at the residency.
It would be a mistake for me to try to play some other role, which I really couldn't play very well. So there we are. That's it. That's it. One guy, I leave and I go back. I leave and I go back, and I try to work while I'm away. And in the last few years, I haven't. When in America, I've really done very little writing. I've scarcely even tried to because the pressures are too immediate and too great. And once one gets off the plane or the boat, one knows in 2 or 3 weeks it's going to be impossible to close one's door and to concentrate in the peculiar way you have to concentrate if you're really working. And that's just a fact, one of the facts of my life. I don't really know what to say about it. Very many people blame me when I'm in the States too. They don't think they disapprove of my role, whatever my role is. I don't know, I think all...
Can you see me? I finished my driving. I'm in Murray, Kentucky. What the fuck is... I think I'm just surprised. I'm like, where is everything? Where's the food? Like, I had to drive 10 minutes for this Mexican spot. So I'm gonna get some burrito. The drive went pretty well. I rented a car. That food was not very good. I'd probably give it a 4 out of 10. We've made it. Whatever bird that is insane. Over here. Left an airport to get here. I don't know. It's just kind of fucking wild. So I'm actually a little tired. My eyes kind of hurt. So I'm gonna sit down and relax.
For as much as Brandon is trying
3. One more. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I wonder if this will work. This room is really loud, testing this audio. The wedding's over, everyone's cleaning up. This cake in front of me looks very delicious. The next thing you'll see... Finally made it to my art residency, and when I tell you that this room is absolutely fucking stunning, believe me. For those that are new here, my name is Prince. Welcome to another video on my channel. I'm going to be documenting my time here at
my seventh artist residency. Yesterday, I took the Amtrak for 7 hours, chilled on the train, did some editing, tried to sleep. The last few nights, my sleep has been off just because know that I've been in and out of other people's houses. And I think maybe me being used to being comfortable in my own space and then living in other people's spaces, it just messes up my sleep schedule. So that's been a thing for the last few days. And I'm just really excited to be here. Yesterday, I got here after the train ride, met some of the interns. There's interns that work at this residency for a number of months every year to help the residencies happen and other things at Blue Mountain Center happen. The food here is going to elevate me. Yesterday, what did we have? We had grilled chicken, grilled zucchini and squash, potatoes that were really crispy. There was cauliflower with lemon tahini dressing, and then this watermelon strawberry spinach salad. It was so good. It was so good. I think you can tell when you go to a residency and they have thought out so much. I mean, this room is beautiful. There's books everywhere. There's numerous writing locations in this room. There's a library. There's a printer. Blue Mountain Center is really focused on encouraging people to disconnect. So there's not much data here. There's no Wi-Fi, but there is an Ethernet cable and a landline phone booth. Yeah, I'm just really happy that I started applying to residencies again. I think even the last few days, going to Cleveland, going to the poetry reading I did, um, catching up with Hanif Abdurraqib, my editor of my memoir, catching up with my friend Cortez, who published Go Tell It, which is a children's book about James Baldwin. I've been talking about writing a lot lately. I've missed writing. I've taken a strategic writing break. I've also dove into media work and YouTube. And it's interesting how that other work has paid off and how people are like, oh, I love your content, or can show appreciation to me like folks did when I was at Socialism. But I always miss writing. I want to be known as a writer. I know you can't control that, but I miss and love it so much. And so I'm excited to be here. I've been thinking a lot about what the next months or the next year will look like in terms of my writing. And I definitely want to talk about some of those things later because I've been having a lot of questions about what to do next. It's been helpful to talk to other writer friends, and I'm hoping maybe I'll meet some folks here that might be able to, I don't know, lend an ear, but I'm excited to be here and to work on a lot of writing, to be thinking about writing amongst the other things that I want to do. I just feel really humbled and grateful and excited that I get to be here for a whole month. I get to just work on my art, and I really do miss how unrestricted time reminds me of what writing as a teenager was like. So I want to tap into that. Some of my intentions while I'm here: make some friends. I met a bunch of the other artists yesterday, really vibed with a few of them. I also think going into group settings, you can put on your best face and be nice and chill and cordial and charismatic. But time will tell where the vibes are. And I feel like even so far, there's been some people where I'm like, oh, don't know if I'm going to talk to you as much. And that's no shade on anyone. It's just more like, okay, I kind of catch the vibe with certain people more. I was kind of hoping there'd be another gay guy here. No. But that's fine. That's fine.
The first person we know who lived here was a writer. As you can see, it's quite lightweight. It's 30 pounds, big Kevlar, and to begin with.
That's so tasty.
Yeah, I get that with art. I feel like that comes good to me, but when it comes to writing, that's not. Not my case.
I have had a great evening. I had lunch, which was sandwiches, and I sat on the porch and talked to someone that works at the residency. And then I sat by the dock and went swimming and talked to some of the other residents. And I can honestly say that social interaction with the folks swimming, it was kind of the first time here where I felt super chill and just chatting to people for a while, because I do think the first couple of days of residencies can feel like, oh, what kind of work do you do? And then doing kind of the social work of getting to know each other as opposed to like talking about different topics and learning things about each other in a much more less art residency kind of way, if that makes sense. And it was really nice. And I've also been talking with other writers here. Even already, I met another writer who's working on a book about like contemporary fascism. And it's just really cool to have met people here that are politicized. Another kind of reflection or update is that earlier today I sat down trying to write like in the morning, and it was kind of weird. It felt weird. And then I talked to another writer here, and we kind of talked about doing a free write. And I kind of came back to the room after swimming, and I was like, I don't really know what I want to do, blah, blah, blah. And then I started kind of writing just a little bit more, trying to pick a part of this essay outline-wise in my mind that I can more readily write. And then I ended up kind of really getting some words out, and I want to read one thing that I wrote in here, which really, yeah, I'll just read it. The underlying truth was that I had survived coming out, but not unscathed. Yes, I bounded into the world and got drunk with strangers in other countries and grappled to change the world. But the pain had both softened and poisoned me, made a god of others and a savage, or in other words, made me something so deplorable that those who claimed to love me the most could throw me aside, like trash. When things are gone for us, they are gone for forever. For gods, instead, things can come back.
God, it's in my blood. And I will never be able to deny, for any reason at all, a certain power that I have had to deal with, which has dealt with me, which is called love. And love comes. I've known boys, I swear to you, sweetheart. I've known cats, I'm talking about white cats now, too. Football player types who went on the needle. And who finally died because they're afraid somebody will call them. Well, all I know about human life, I don't know much.
Less and less.
Yes, when I was young, I knew a lot. Now I don't know nothing, which is a great relief. But, but I know, all I know about human life is if I love you, I love you. And if I love you and duck it, I die.
Exactly. Exactly. But you see, out of that, I think, is, for me, I see the nature of love. The ability to dare, to challenge despair, and to dare to love. Which
Well, you see, you can't prophesy it. You can't say, you cannot make a decision like I'm going to
I
fall
love
in
when
love
you write
with.
something and you realize that you've put something down on the page that you've never been able to crystallize. Even if this isn't the perfect expression of it, it is it's so wild to really kind of start to contextualize this, even though I've thought about it a lot of different ways. I think coming out both made me more of a romantic and less of a romantic. I mean, definitely in college and in the years after, I did want love and experience and romance. But I think all the things that happened with my family, I think it made me cynical about maybe the idea of unconditional love or love that isn't taken away. One of the themes of this essay is how to disappear. And I've been thinking about it on the level of state violence and border and immigration and doing humanitarian aid work. But now, in a way, it's weird because I'm realizing this essay is about
what happens when the state disappears others, and what happens when the complications of our lives and queerness forces us to kind of disappear ourselves, and what can be reckoned with when we confront that disappearance, which feels really good to get closer to. And I feel really appreciative that this year so far has brought me closer to a lot of these lessons, closer to a lot of these realizations. And I'm excited to write more. Like, this feels like a tiny breakthrough. So I'm just excited. I don't know if I'm going to write much more now, but I'm going to chill. Dinner is every day at 6:30, and I'm excited to see what dinner is. I'm excited. Um, yeah, apply to residencies, people, if you can. Apply. Even the opening is really, really good. I enjoy writing that talks about the philosophical underpinnings of how state violence occurs. The situation is designed so that he will resist the sharp blade that threatens to fatally mutilate him. He must stand up straight in his stirrups inside his cage. The apparatus makes the condemned man think his life depends on his strength, not only muscular and physical, but also mental. He must strain to stay alive if he does not wish to suffer worse or die. At the same time, the sole purpose of this technology of torture is to kill him, but in such a fashion that the more he defends himself, the worse he will suffer. The cruel comedy of the food placed around him attests to the fact that the torture plays on the efficacy of vital actions, so as to control them totally, the better to annihilate them. Just as exhaustion will cause him to collapse onto the edge of the blade, his unbearable need to eat and drink will likewise become fatal. In addition, the initial impact on the body will almost certainly be the private areas. It is almost as if the power's work of encoding gender reaches its completion here, given that the private areas, far more than any other part of the body, have become the ultimate site in which the subject's power of action lurks. When we defend them, we defend ourselves. That the apparatus strikes them first indicates that it seeks to destroy that by which the subject, not the legal subject, but the capable subject, was established. And so it's just a really powerful exploration of how tools of torture by state institutions literally attack the most instinctive parts of our human anatomy, and how the more we try to defend ourselves, the more the state will try to make us suffer. And I think it's just such a clear analysis for the times that we live in. We finally finished our work for the day. Dinner's about to start. I'm gonna pack my things up and head up to the clubhouse where we have dinner. I have finished my work for the day. Here's a little update. It's the end of my third day, and I did a good amount of work today. I edited the first bits of my novel, and it was really enriching and cool and beautiful to dig back into it, especially since this is the first time I've spent the most time away from something I've written, and I'm revisiting it, and I'm kind of finding myself noticing things differently, reading it differently, and it really is like, holy fuck, I should have done this before. Like, just casually, I have ideas that I think will deepen the reader's perspective on my characters, and I'm literally like 15 pages in, but my goal is to edit about 10 pages a day. And I also filmed a video this morning, started editing that, got about 10 minutes in, and I also did some reading earlier, talked to someone. Honestly, working in this boathouse was just beautiful. Like, it's so quiet in there, and it really just reminds me that reducing the amount of technology around me while I'm working and not having internet can really get you to lock in, and it might be just something that I'll try to utilize more and more. But after this, I'm going to eat dinner, which starts in about 10 minutes. It's every day at 6:30, and then I either will hang out with some of the other residents, or I might dig more into editing, because it would be kind of nice to get like a rough cut of this video today, so I can just shush things tomorrow, because I kind of want to be quick on my video editing this trip. But I'm going to go back up and head inside. Oh, there's bugs here. So it is day 4 of the residency. I did not get good sleep last night, so I think today is just kind of a day where I figure out how I want to rest, if I want to rest, what work I want to do. I'm kind of up already, but we're just going to do random work today and see what feels good and try to go to sleep early tonight. Dinner, I'm going on a quick walk with some of the other residents. It's nice to do random things with other people in the middle of the day. I think it's one of the things about artist residencies that can be really nice, like remembering that there was a time in my life where I was around people all the time and socializing and doing random things, and how kind of cool that is. So I'm putting on a hoodie because it's kind of cold, and I'm gonna go on a little walk.
Those? Yes. And
Oh.
so big. And when I was like, okay, they're kind of big. I think also they just like felt confused about like the systems and
So it is early, it's the next day, it's about 7 a.m. I actually slept really well last night. I'm going to get changed and go downstairs and just kind of get started doing work for the day. My plan today is to work on my essay. And like I said before, this essay is about the border, immigration, masculinity, deportation, systems of violence. All of the feelings are very ephemeral, but I do think that doing some more definitive research and finding some key facts or images is going to help. And then throughout the rest of the day, I'm just going to kind of play it by ear. I could do some video editing. I could work on the novel more. I also realized I'm not sure if I explained what my novel is about. I won't explain too much, but it's a coming of age, a queer coming of age set in the 80s against the backdrop of the AIDS crisis, and it's about a boy grieving his older brother and falling in love, amongst other things. And I'm really proud of it. I'm just taking the time and patience to read like 10 to 15 pages a day. It's the hardest I've worked on any fiction, and I think it's teaching me a lot. And even just reading it through the last 2 days, I'm kind of like, wow, there's so much to learn. But yeah, today I'm gonna kind of try to take it easy. I definitely kind of wanted to swim, but it does not seem like it's gonna be warm enough today, so.
I've seen people do it online.
Really? It's the flour?
Yeah, they take the flour and they like put it on a grill, or like they put oil on it
Really?
and they grill it.
Before or after it gets seeds?
I think at like this point.
Really? And which part is edible?
This the
Like the
face,
choke?
I guess.
Huh. Yeah, I think the roots are edible.
I always see people do it in a.
There's garlic here that was freshly picked.
Hey, that's good. I love it. Yeah. Wow, do they put them in mustard greens? Yeah. Like salad? Yeah.
Yeah, people eat it. People make like pesto out of it too, I think.
Whoa.
It's coming home with us.
I know, but then it's 12:30 and you're like, wait, I'm hungry.
I know.
Exercise too, and also in order to confront something I had to deal with in myself. Because one of the dangers of being a Black American, and certainly a Black American man, is there's such a complex of ambiguities to deal with, you know, such a complex of poses, you know.
Right. Roles to play.
And I've been playing a certain role.
Mm.
I was a stud, you know, and I didn't want to drown there neither, you know, and I wanted to figure out, to tell the truth to myself.
Yep.
About where it is, you know, what is it? This male, female, man, woman, black, white.
Right. Up, down.
You know?
Right.
And I had to try to deal with that. Well,
So Giovanni's Room came out of that.
when it comes to it, I wrote Mountain, I wrote Amen Corner, forget it. I wrote The Notes of the Sun, forget it. It was a remainder.
Mm-hmm.
Giovanni's Room was a certain kind of hit because nobody believed the man who wrote Hotel on the Mountain
Could also.
write
or
Giovanni's
would.
Room.
Not only
Would.
could, but would. But there are those who say Giovanni's Room until another, that was one of your greatest and most perfect books.
A book is always flawed.
I know.
And the writer knows it better than the critics do. He knows where the flaws are.
Long before.
No. And you become a writer by... I wrote Go Down on the Mountain about God knows how many times. But you need to accept the fact that, all right, this is not Hamlet. It ain't the Brothers Karamazov, which have been written already, by the way.
And well,
This is me, you know. And if you don't, you know, at a certain point you cut the performance off, and you got to get it out of the house, so you can start again.
is there any time in life when you start a project that you're not afraid? Scared.
I tell you about No Name in the Street, which, after all, was written between assassinations. I rewrote it, Jordan. I finally.
Yeah, they blamed it on the Germans.
Yeah.
I went to like Bath House